The NACS Show is back in its favorite city, Las Vegas. Thousands of retailers, manufacturers and suppliers will be here for 3 days. There will be plenty of innovations and new products on show. The dominating themes are self-checkout, alternative fuels, food on the go, and all these will be covered through educational sessions, discussions, and here at the booth by the exhibitors.
What we see for the convenience store and the journey what consumers are taking at the moment and will take in the future, we see a broader variety. People are coming in having just a quick fuel or just grab a quick snack, and other people are charging their car on an EV station, having a food ordering service in there. And as you can see, a lot of different entry points are part of the consumer journey of today and the future. And I think this is something what we can support with our hardware and software portfolio, whether it's FCX in the software space as a part of Dynamic Retail Platform, or our DN Series Easy self-checkout portfolio. As I said, at the NACS Show, first of all, we are super happy to be here. I think that's a buzzing place, and we see a lot of great conversations coming up with our customers and other partners. And from a portfolio perspective, what we are presenting primarily this time is our three-pillar approach of software as part of Dynamic Retail Platform with our fuel and convenience specific solution FCX, our DN Series Easy self-checkout and POS portfolio, and our service portfolio, what allows retailers to have a predictive, proactive and preventive approach to have a very high availability of their stations.
Well, the third quarter was just spectacular, and there's no other way to describe it. Did stumble a little bit into the finish line, but when all the data's in and all said and done, it's going to be an all-time high. Probably about 50 cents a gallon. Again, that's before overhead and labor costs and real estate, etc. But I do think we're going to be in a period of relatively solid margins, relatively strong margins, because I think 30 cents is a new 20 cents because you have to account for those increased labor costs. And also there is some consolidation in the industry going on as well, which has always been the case over the last couple of years. So I think margins are going to be in a pretty decent position for the time being. It's just going to be really volatile because the way the market's moving these days, price swings are pretty aggressive and pretty transformative these days.
Yeah, we're super excited. This year we're able to develop a relationship with Walmart, and so Walmart Plus members are now able to get 10 cents a gallon off their fuel at our 12,000 Exxon and Mobil locations. We also launched our Exxon Mobil Smart Card Plus, which is a great program, allows consumers to get 10 cents a gallon off regular fuel, 12 cents off premium, and there's a 5% in-store credit as well for purchases made there. So really glad to have brought those two to market this year. I think it's really important for us to be able to stay connected with consumers, and consumers are always looking for new and innovative ways to pay and save. And so that's been one of the attributes of the programs we've launched, is just bringing more consumers into the sites and driving more business for that site, both in fuel and in the store.
Welcome to the new brand, PDI Technologies, really representing the heritage of PDI as a company that's been around for 40 years serving our customers, but also realizing that our innovation has taken us much further beyond where we started as an ERP company. And so we go to market today with 3 solutions: enterprise productivity, all about optimizing the business operations inside of an enterprise; consumer engagement, which is really all about growing revenue, reaching consumers, connecting them directly with consumer brands; and security solutions is our third segment. So we've been building that organically and inorganically over the last several years, and it's great to finally have a brand now that encompasses all of that vibrancy and innovation and the full spectrum of products that we offer. So the Greenprint acquisition, I think, is a wonderful indication of just this bigger trend, which is consumers are increasingly interested in what brands are doing to play their part in a more sustainable future. And the Greenprint solution really is an elegant way to connect brands with consumers directly, allowing them to participate in the offset solutions that make sense for them. And so we're seeing big retailers and wholesalers build brands around some of these specific programs, either planting trees or water cleanup. So the initiatives that we can sponsor are really vast, and the Greenprint team has a ton of domain expertise. And it's been really exciting. Not just our customers, but our internal employees are really energized by the ability to take technology again and really connect it with the sustainable mission. And it's just one part of a bigger basket of sustainability solutions that will include things like EV charging solutions, Charge Buddy, which will be an app that'll look very similar to Gas Buddy. And I think we're really just getting started understanding that there's really a place for sustainability inside of our industry and ecosystem, and the best way to do that is to bring it to life with technology, which is something we know how to do well.
When we saw registration, when it opened, you could see that there was a different mood this year, that people are ready to be back at conventions, they're ready to talk to each other, they're ready to be connected, and we're seeing this at the NACS Show. We've seen great attendance, the education sessions are hitting records for 200, 300, 400 people in an education session. The general sessions are full, and it is tough getting from place to place in the expo. It's clear that we are back. What's been popular in the education sessions is, I think, no surprise. People are looking for all those new trends. What does it do? How can you do delivery? How can you look at EVs? How do you look at frictionless experience? And then how do you address all these challenges? The labor shortage, supply chain issues, all of these things. Ultimately, it's all about how do you make things more convenient for the customer. Swipe fees in the United States are higher than any other developed country. And the reason is simple. Visa and MasterCard can charge any rate they want. So it is a particular problem in the United States where roughly 2% of every dollar when it's on a credit card goes to the credit card companies. So we are aggressively looking at how do we change this broken system and get congressional support to fix things. We feel there's an opportunity, and it is a massive opportunity to give back money to customers, because right now it is going from customers to us to the credit card companies, and we feel that system doesn't work.
So obviously, depending on which market you're in, where you're located, where your sites are, there's going to be a number of different factors that you need to consider. And each market behaves differently. So a market in the US may be slightly different from a market in Europe. But generally, there are several data points that are really important. The top of that list is EV adoption. So when we talk about EV adoption, we're talking about how consumers are moving up the curve. So you have some consumers who fall into that kind of early adopter phase, and that's kind of where we are now. So you have a consumer who's a little bit more affluent, who's more tech savvy, who's more focused on convenience, health and wellness, and there's a certain, you need to cater for that consumer. But it's not a case, it's taken 10, 12 years for us to get to this point. It's not going to take another 10, 12 years to get to the next part of the adoption curve. That's going to happen very quickly, so there will be an uptick. And so the key is really understanding not just today's segment, but also who that person is tomorrow, in 5 years, 10 years time. Now, it might be quicker in some markets. So in the US, in California, there is a lot of adoption. In a lot of European markets, there's been very high adoption. Others are a little bit slower. So understanding that profile in each of your markets is really going to help you understand whether you go with EV now, you go with it in 2 years' time, you go with it in 5 years' time.
Well, the payment trend industry is very unique now for the car wash industry. It used to be a very heavily cash business, and with the transition of the pandemic, people going contactless, contactless is more important now more than ever. But now they want to do it through license plate recognition, they want to do it through RFID, want to do any way they can, mobile app, to help them stay as contactless through the process in all the payments that we see going through the car wash. So our solutions incorporate all the different methods where you can do tap, so you have your mobile wallet, as well as the tap cards you have, including mobile application that has payment in it, license plate recognition, RFID, all those pieces are all included in what our system can do now.